to another episode of Entrepreneurs and Fuego, Season 2. With Matthew O'Brien, we're interviewing and documenting the journey of amazing entrepreneurs, one digital footprint at a time. At some point in time, I had to memorize all that stuff, and but boom, now it just comes in. Whew,
you have mad skills.
Not at all, man. I'm just repeating this thing again and again, man. Matt, how you doing, man?
Fantastic.
By the way, I love the name of your company, Mint Social, and it's an accelerated marketing company.
It is.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, you bet. Tell us more in detail. You can pimp out your and tell us all about your place better than I can.
Yeah, right. Well, I came up with the name Mint Social because I'm a mint fanatic. I usually have about. Come from? I don't know. I'm crazy about mint. I have like mint body lotion and hairspray. Whatever, any mint, I'm in it. And then social media. I started the company about 8 years ago, and I'm like, hey, this thing called social media is going to be big.
You started it at the right time. I mean,
yes.
when social media is kind of just beginning to take off.
Absolutely.
And we didn't really know what social media was at that time, or what it could do for our businesses.
No, it was it was a little foreign. They were talking about blogs and having this dynamic component to your website, and it kind of reminded me of when I started my first company in '96. It was a web development company,
right?
And my presentation was, "There's this thing called the internet. It's going to be big, and you're going to need a website." And I'm like, "Website? What? You're crazy.
Internet? What is that?"
Absolutely crazy. Yeah. So it was like deja vu all over again. When I started Mint Social, I'm like, social media, blog marketing, content, it's going to be important. And so I just, so we've really morphed our company. But when I started, I was doing shows like this. I was interviewing. I was doing seminars and webinars because I kept saying the same thing over and over again. I'm like, I really need to educate this marketplace because they don't really understand.
People are looking at you like, what do you mean this thing? I mean, I'm just going to take a picture of my lunch and I'm just going to put it on this social media and I'll be happy. But you're probably, no, I think that there's a little bit more.
There's a little bit more, you're right. Yes. So we started having a lot of fun. We actually did some seminars at SkySong right up the street.
Sure.
And educated a lot of people. I think from our World Webinar Networks, we got a lot of people into the social media content marketing business.
Yeah, I love talking to people such as you, Matthew, because that have been in this environment for a long time. I mean, from way back in the day, from the '96, developing websites. I mean, programming websites, coding to make a website, all the way to here to social media. What do you think is the biggest misconception that we as entrepreneurs have about social media at this point?
The misconception is that you have to do it.
Okay.
It's because if you have that mindset that I have to do it, it's not going to be fun. It's just like I have to work, You really need to find your niche. So there's really two components to social media. I'm going to either market a brand or I'm going to market the person in front of the brand. And we don't hug brands, we hug people. So you have to think of it in terms of the story's not interesting until it has these components to it, such as who are you as a person? How can I connect with you? What do you like to do personally? How are you involved with a community? What do you do that makes you interesting, that makes you a pillar of the community? Now I'm interested in what you do as a business.
So it's all the story. I mean, it goes back to how information was passed down since the beginning of time, right? I mean, we all sat down and around the campfire and we told stories.
Totally.
And if you have a compelling story to tell me, much like, hey, I've been educating people about what a website was back in the day to, I found the deja vu back, 10 years ago or 8 years ago, and I'm educating people about that. Now you have a story to tell me.
Exactly.
And that I feel compelled, and now I'm engaged.
Totally. And what are you doing here? You're telling stories.
Yes.
And you said your show is going to be picked up on TV. Congratulations. Why is that? because this is the medium that we like. This is what we understand and connect with. And social media, if you feel like you have to do it, then it's going to come across like you have to do it. But if you like it, you love it, you're passionate, like most entrepreneurs are, now you pull me in. Now I'm interested in learning more about how you can help me or how I can help you. It's that give and take. And content marketing, social media, marketing a business online is like getting karma credits. You need to give love, and you need to do it as much as you can and genuinely. And ultimately, that's going to come back to you, because if you're sharing, engaging, and participating in what's going on online, then people are going to realize that, and it's going to come back to you. It's just like starting a business. When you start a business, you need a lot of help. And the more help you give, the more help you get. It's the simple thing in life.
And it is interesting you say that, because the key word of what you said right now is give. And you're giving information, you're giving education, you are giving part of what you know or what you know to a community with the intention of developing and creating a community for yourself.
Absolutely.
And I think that part of that misconception that we're talking about is that if you think that it's all about you and that the center of the universe revolves around you, and then all the social media posts is going to be about you without any benefit to the community, then I think you got it upside down.
That's true. We can only take so many selfies, At some point, you got to turn that camera around and start focusing on what's going on around you.
Yes, and that is key. Do you find that message, as simple and as obvious and as logic as it sounds, a lot of us entrepreneurs, when you are approaching somebody to offer your services, they might find it hard to digest and to adopt into their own ecosystems?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we unless it's a startup business, then we have to kind of build those stories. But most companies have what we call digital assets laying around. They've invested their heart and soul into getting the business to where it is, and they have underutilized things laying around that they need to resurrect. So such as a brochure, such as a video on YouTube, such as a story, a success story that maybe they have a client that they've had for 10 years. Why do they stick around? We need to know those stories. So
they're there.
And they're there. They're just
the content is there.
Exactly. It's all there. So we just need to scoop that up, and it's easier to work with the existing versus creating new, because we can all sit into a think tank room and come up with great marketing ideas. But we have this thing called failure hacking. We want to accelerate the failures. We want to test the message out. And one thing that we've learned is the message that always works is if we share a story that has multiple touch points, a success story. It's going to talk about maybe a location, maybe a demographic of who we're targeting. It could be about the type of business. It has all these different touch points that bring someone in, and they resonate with that. And then now we can build an audience from that, because we know, someone is interested, and they may happen to be Hispanic, or they happen to be in this demographic, or they have an interest in ice cream or music. Whatever it is, we can build upon that. But if we try to throw a bunch of ideas on the board and test those out, it doesn't make as much sense as actually testing with a real audience, real content, things that have already been done. And it's always fun to see like a video that got no life, and now we figure out who we should be targeting it, and all of a sudden, it's connecting with the audience like never before.
And it adopts a life on its own, and and you're able to do that through your marketing, your accelerated marketing prowess. It's all about content at the end of the day, isn't it?
It really is. And that's the bad news that I always tell companies. I got good news and bad news. We can help you, but it's a lot of content.
Where do you see the future of social media, and of where can we tell these stories? You're telling me a story right now. We're capturing on Entrepreneurs in Fuego. Where do you see the future of social media? Where's it going to go?
The future of social media is it's going to be a really compelling piece of content. Like, let's say this is a story right here. We see that it becomes very confusing where I should publish it, when, what format, how many times, all of that stuff. So we're in beta right now with a system, because been doing this for 8 years and have a whole team of people, and everybody new has challenges.
Without counting your website
Exactly,
development years.
Right. Right, then it's over 20.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
But what we're looking to do is you take a piece of content and then it automatically knows what format it needs to live in, whether it's going to be mobile, whether it's going to be on tablet or desktop, and we will distribute it to those channels which are only relevant to your business. And automation is becoming crazy. So it's no longer about, all of this manual stuff. It's really about, and if you look at Twitter and stuff, most people are on autopilot there. So
yes.
we're trying to automate the complexity of publishing and focusing on the intimacy of connecting.
Is Facebook video getting out of control? Is everybody becoming?
What's the crazy statistic, and now I understand why. They said that by next year, 70% of our time online will be spent watching videos, and I didn't believe it until Facebook Live came around, and I'm like, now I get it. Everyone is going to be watching videos.
That's music to Taylor's ears.
Yes,
right
it
there.
is. For sure.
Man, I love this. It truly fascinates me to hear from an expert such as yourself. Where have we been? What really moves social media, and what the future is going to be about?
I'm so happy to be on the show.
Mid-social, man. Great name. With that, we're out.